back to my channel, and if you're new here, my name's Hannah, and as you can tell by the title of today's video, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to make cinematic videos with just your iPhone. Now, I've been getting a lot of questions in my TikTok comments. People ask me what camera I use and all this other stuff, but I do not use a high-tech camera. If you're not new here, you know that I use my iPhone 13, and for reference, that's what I use now, but when I originally started, I was using my iPhone XR. So it really does not matter which iPhone you have. Most iPhones nowadays are good enough quality to where you can get good quality videos. You just have to know what you're doing with the smartphone, okay? So I don't want to hear no more excuses. So let's just get into it. Follow me on Instagram at KBYEM. TikTok will be down below. Let's get started. Okay, so I'm gonna just let you guys know I'm gonna be looking down a lot because I wrote notes down in my laptop, so that's where I'm gonna be looking. So the first thing that I feel like people should really think about is composition. Basically, composition is what is going to be in the frame. What are you making a video of? What is the story you're trying to tell? And I feel like a lot of people overthink this. Like, you don't need to have like a beginning, middle, and end when you're making videos. Honestly, there's one little thing that someone had told me a while ago that has helped me immensely. Every shot you make, can that one shot stand alone as a picture? Like, if you took a screenshot of that one shot that you're putting in your frame, would it make a good picture? If the answer is yes, congratulations, you made a cinematic video. If the answer is no, stop, delete it, start over. Maybe not delete it, but start over. And a lot of the time we have to take our own pride out of it. We have to remove our own bias. And sometimes you have to think about it like, if somebody else showed you this video, would you think it was a good video? Would it be able to stand alone as a picture? The answer is no, sorry, it's not good enough. For example, take this shot of an apple. The first shot, there's a whole lot going on. There's stuff in the background. It's not blurred. There's not good lighting. There's no composition. You can't really tell what it is you're looking at in this frame. You can't really tell what is the main idea, or essentially what kind of story you're trying to tell. And even if it's not a story directly, like, what is the audience supposed to focus on? You can't tell from this video because there's so many things going on and not one specific thing is in focus. Now take this second video, for example. The apple's in focus, the stuff in the background is blurred, there's something in the foreground. You're able to tell exactly what it's supposed to look like, or what the audience is supposed to be paying attention to the moment you look at this. And that's the difference between the two things. Yes, the first apple shot could make a video, but it's not about making a video, it's about making a good quality video. Is this something that you would actually want to look at? Like I said before, you got to be honest with yourself. You got to be completely unbiased. Just because you made it doesn't automatically mean that like it's the most amazing shot ever. Sometimes it will be the most amazing shot ever, but you just have to be really honest with yourself. And you could also tweak things in editing. Now, this doesn't mean that you always have to have something or someone so close to the frame to where they have to be right in front of the camera. You can be taking videos of the forest or somebody's house, literally leaves, food, your boyfriend, literally anything. You could be taking a video of anything, but it has to be very clear as to what you want the audience to look at. If you're trying to sell a house, but you want to show somebody the video of the house, but you got like the chimney and the roof cut off, that's not a good video, because if they're trying to look at the house, the landscape, the grass, everything in front of it, they need to be able to see the entire house. You know what I mean? You don't always need to have a person or an animal or something so close to the camera or directly in focus, but it needs to at least look good. Try to make sure that your lines are straight. For my phone, the iPhone 13, I do have the ability to use something called cinematic mode, and you can kind of see it going on right now. Like, I'm kind of in focus. This candle here in the background is not in focus, but I don't always use cinematic mode. Sometimes cinematic mode makes things a little too blurry, so I feel like it doesn't look that realistic. And if you watch my TikToks or a lot of my videos, a lot of my stuff I like to do is more candid, so I don't always like the harsh blurred background, but right now it's fine. Sometimes it's fine, sometimes it's absolutely necessary, but a lot of the time I use just the video. So if you don't have cinematic mode on your phone, don't worry. The video format on iPhones works perfectly fine. It be getting the job done. Don't underestimate the little video, okay? Okay, so number 2 out of 3 that I want to talk about is lighting. Lighting is so important, and it's not even important in the sense of like you have to have the sun being out or you gotta have these big LED lights. Like, no. Lighting, honestly, on its own, in my opinion, can be the composition. Like, you could really just set your phone up or set your camera up and let the lighting do the work. There's several times I wake up in the morning, the golden hour sunrise lighting is just like just flying through the blinds across my walls, and I have like artwork on my walls and it goes right across it, and I think it just makes a beautiful shot. It would make a gorgeous picture. Pay attention to lighting. A lot of my videos are usually shot outdoors, so I don't really have to manipulate lighting too much, but I like to pay attention to certain areas. I'm not a fan of shooting like in midday, simply because I feel like there's not a lot going on with the light. It's really harsh on your skin. It's not really that exciting. So for outside places, I feel like when you go to places that could have like a little bit of diversity in terms of like, is there like a tunnel with an archway to where like it's brightly sunny through the tunnel, but like right in front of you, like you see a lot of shadows or something cute like that? Or is it nighttime where there's lots of like neon lights and you can play around with silhouettes and things? So maybe you might be out of focus, but the light in the background is in focus. Or a sunset where you could potentially be a silhouette and your body is going to be dark, but the main focus is the sunrise or the sunset in the background, so it doesn't really matter if you can see all the details in the person that you're trying to shoot. Just pay attention to lighting. I feel like outdoor lighting is the easiest. Just try to be creative. If you want to bring some lighting with you, that works too, but usually when I'm outdoors, I just use what's outdoors, aka the sun, because it's free, and y'all know I like me some stuff that is free 99, okay? Indoor lighting, I feel like, is where it gets a little complicated. Even today, I'm still having a little bit of issues, so just pay attention to certain things. I do have studio lights. They were really cheap, got them on Amazon. It came with like colored films, like blue, yellow, red, green, I'm pretty sure, like all the primary colors, and I get to put that stuff in front of the studio lens, and then so when the light shines, it just looks like red or yellow or whatever color that I put the film inside of. So I really do like those, and if I can find it on Amazon, I'll put it in the description box below, because I did get them a long time ago. If you want to get LED lights, studio lights, colored lighting, stuff like that, it can add to your cinematography. It can spice up your videos a little bit more, and it honestly can make things more fun, more enjoyable. I've definitely taken my studio lights outside and I've used them in cars. I've used them in my room. I've used them in my room and shot things from outside of the house. I've done a lot. So it can make things a lot more fun, and it can make you have a lot more unique shots. Another thing I wanted to emphasize is use lighting and shadows to your advantage. I do want to show you guys that like lighting seriously can have a completely different impact on just a person's face, for example. Like as you can see, when the light comes all the way around, it produces completely different shapes all over my face, and it just emphasizes different parts. Some parts are more flattering and some parts are less flattering, so it all kind of depends on what you want. If you want like a scarier horror movie type vibe or just a darker type vibe for your video, you might want to go with the less flattering lights, the lights that will like emphasize shadows underneath of your eyes, or that will not give you such a nice cute little jawline. It makes you look like you're a chiseled model or something like that. So it all depends on what you want. Another thing I forgot to mention that goes with composition and lighting is adjusting exposure, and it's actually something that I think is really underrated, and lately it's kind of been blowing up a little bit on TikTok because people like lower their exposure like all the way down, and they have these like really dark vlogs. But I feel like depending on the lighting you're in, it can really make or break a shot. So I think you should really pay attention to your exposure. I think on iPhones there's like 2 or 3 different ways you could do it. I typically just turn the camera on, tap my screen, and like a little yellow box will pop up, and you can press and hold until something like AE lock comes up on the top of the screen, and then you can like slide it down to get a lower exposure, which means everything will get a little bit darker, or slide it up to do a higher exposure. But I don't really recommend, unless it's like really necessary, I really don't recommend going up with the exposure typically, because you're gonna have a very overexposed shot. Basically that just means like a whole lot of details would be lost, which is not what we want. We want to be able to see all the details. Don't ruin your shot by not paying attention to the exposure. Sometimes you can just leave it where it is. Sometimes you will need to lower or raise the exposure depending on if you're in a dark environment or a light environment. Take your time, figure out what kind of vibe you want for your video, whether it's outdoor cinematography or indoor or a combination of both. I feel like just take some time, figure it out, have a little fun. Don't overthink it. It's a lot easier than you think that it is. You do have to pay attention. You do have to be alert and look at your surroundings. And I don't mean like in a safety way. I mean that too, but more so like if you're in front of a tree, maybe don't look at the tree here. Maybe see if you could look up and see underneath of the tree and see what could be more cinematic about that. The last thing I want to talk about is getting different shots and angles Basically being creative with your shots and angles. Now, I know I am a victim of this too, okay? I am not guiltless, Your Honor. I'm sorry. I definitely have gotten a little comfortable with certain shots and certain angles, but there's a whole plethora of things that you can do. Number one, if you really do not know where to start, some people don't like this, but I think go on Pinterest or watch your favorite movies or watch your favorite TV shows and go get inspiration from the people who are getting paid to do this, okay? I'm not saying copy their shots and their stories and all this other stuff, but get some inspiration. You know, maybe there's something that they've done in their films that you have always wanted to try it out. I do that sometimes, and sometimes when I'm in the moment and I'm trying out a shot or an angle that I've seen somebody else do, I'm in the moment and I start to think about, oh, I could do this, I could do that, like, and then you have like 4 or 5 different shots, which you would have never had if you didn't go try out that initial shot. And I actually have an entire section on my Pinterest called cinematography. People will take film stills and I will save them to my cinematography section, because why not? There's a lot of movies out there. There's a lot of different things I want to try. I don't know. Some people might consider that to be a little of a cop out, but you know, we're just trying to have some fun, okay? We're just trying to make some videos. It's literally not that serious. Go get you some inspiration. Sit down, get some popcorn, watch your favorite movies. Go on TikTok. There's a lot of great filmmaker type TikTokers out there. I could like list a few here of my faves, okay? Not, you know, me too, you know, if you see this, you know, go hit up my TikTok. But no, seriously, get some inspo from your favorite creators. I'm not telling y'all to copy. A lot of the time I do shoot my own videos by myself, so I have my handy dandy tripod. I used to have this regular tripod, ones that just pull up straight, but the one I have now that my phone is actually sitting on, it's heaven sent. Like, not only does it pull up, I don't even remember how many feet it pulls all the way up, but it has this like wiring thing to where like I can actually like bend the tripod any way that I want to. It's a lot of fun. So this makes a great tripod for like overhead shots. I will link it down below if you guys want to see it. Along with the studio lights that I mentioned before, I do also have these like clip-on lenses. There's a wide angle lens, a fisheye lens, and a macro lens. Like I said, the iPhone macro lens is really not my favorite, so this one is actually a good macro lens. I don't really use macro features that much, but if you want to use it, then you can use that. These things were not expensive at all. I think this one was like $9 for 3 lenses, you know? Getting different types of lenses could help you get different types of shots, whatever type of vibe you want to go for. Get creative, shoot some overhead shots in your room, shoot underneath of things, shoot through things, unconventional things. I see people make videos all the time shooting cinematic videos through water bottles. You can do a whole lot more than you think you can. But along with that, there's just a plethora of things that you guys could do and try. So I know I only gave you guys 3 tips, but I really hope it helped you guys a lot. I just wanted to do something really quick for you guys because I know a lot of people have been asking me, and I feel like I just read the same thing over and over again in my comments. So now you guys have a video to come back and reference. It's not annoying, I promise. I actually do like answering your questions. So if you have any more questions down below, let me know. Comment down below your Instagrams or your TikToks or whatever, because I want to see you guys' content. I want to see what you guys come up with. I want to see it all, okay? I'm not playing. Put it down in the comments below. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram at KVYM and click that notification bell to get notified every single time I post a new video. And follow me on TikTok if you want to. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.